Hey, what's up street gods, Eric from the Eric Street Photography blog. So I wanted to do a quick video and share some random thoughts on, genre agnostic photography. So this is the basic idea. I think in photography and life and everything in between, all these nerds have us thinking about genre, categorizing, and so forth. And who does creating a genre benefit? Generally the nerds. Who doesn't photography genres benefit? The photographers themselves. So this is just what I realized through photography and everything, is that everyone's trying to put you inside a box and categorize you, because when you are not categorizable or easily understandable by others, it makes people feel uncomfortable and it makes people feel a little bit afraid. And the difficult thing about being uncategorizable is that it makes you unpredictable, and generally society is afraid or intimidated, or they don't like unpredictable individuals. And honestly, a lot of it too about the whole genre thing is that you have a bunch of nerds who are trying to muscle flex, and they're trying to proclaim how smart and clever they are by being able to put everything inside a box. And let me just give you some practical thoughts on how genre has hurt me as a photographer. So one of the biggest ways that street photography has hurt me is, and then I don't blame anyone else, I blame myself, is that it kind of trapped me within the genre of street photography. And then I thought to myself, I'm not allowed to shoot anything else that's not considered street photography. And this is actually the success trap too, is that once I became famous as a street photographer, I was suddenly not allowed to shoot anything that was not street photography. So I wasn't allowed to shoot random textures because only newbies shoot that, or not allowed to shoot sunsets because that's stupid. And it ended up in the long run being very hurtful and damaging to me, because I essentially committed self-tyranny against myself, is that I didn't allow myself to innovate. I didn't allow myself to shoot different genres of photography. And also, once again, the problem with the genre in photography is that you end up becoming a prisoner of the whole system. So, even within the genre of street photography, there's so many petty arguments that happen over, oh, is this street photography? Is this not street photography? And it's kind of a waste of time, because the reason why there's even this whole debate on what is street photography, what isn't street photography, is that everyone wants to be a tyrant and say that my version of photography, street photography, is the best, and thus you must all obey me. And if you don't obey me, you're an idiot. And how do people try to exert their power over others? Through their credentials, through external measures of success, whatever. But for me, honestly, I'm more interested in all of us getting along together and all of us being able to come up with our own definitions in photography, street photography, and life. And I think that the more that all of us are able to escape the prison which is a genre, then the more we could thrive. And because I think that this is just a thought experiment too, is that if you knew that you were lived to be 120 years old in fantastic health, would you want to keep just shooting the same type of photography for the rest of your life? Probably not. You'd probably get bored sooner or later. And this is actually the interesting thing too, is that Henri Cartier-Bresson, who was the Michael Jordan, our godfather of street photography, he essentially gave up photography after 20-30 years, and he started painting for the rest of his life. And he said that, oh, photography is not a legitimate art form. And why did that happen? My theory is because he was too much of a self-tyrant, is that he didn't allow himself to evolve, he didn't allow himself to innovate. He only said the only type of legit photography is kind of decisive moment, black and white type photography, 50 mil a black and white film, blah blah blah. And what's the downside of that? The downside is that he probably just essentially got bored, and he no longer saw opportunities, he only saw limits, and therefore he just kind of gave up the camera. And unfortunately, I have no idea, but I kind of get the sense that he kind of died not feeling that satisfied. But anyways, so for us as photographers and visual artists, I think it's important for us to not, first of all, trap ourselves within a genre of photography. And not only that, but we shouldn't even trap ourselves within photography or any genre at all. We should just refrain from, as much as humanly possible, from categorizing ourselves at all, because you probably have so many different interests and hobbies and skills and talents and interests. So even for myself, I'm kind of like an ultimate enigma. I have passion for photography, blogging, vlogging, the internet, publishing, rap music, bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever it may be, everything in between. And society don't like people who are uncategorizable, and therefore I think there's too much of this bad thing in society where everyone wants to try to become a specialist, because specialists are easy to understand. So, oh, that guy's that one thing, he's good for that thing, and therefore we could trust him. But and even the label a generalist is a bad one too, because when someone says, oh, you're a generalist, it almost infers that you're kind of not that good at that stuff, yet you're kind of bad at that thing. So I don't even like the label of generalist too. It's just, you just be you. You're like a manifold, multifarious individual with lots of different selves, a lot of different interests, and don't trap yourself inside a box, and don't trap yourself into any genre. So even if you have your own website, blog, YouTube channel, whatever, I would actually give you the practical tip: refrain from being too specific in any sort of art form or genre or anything. And even I know a lot of people who follow me, you know, it's kind of cool because it's personally benefited me in the sense that, oh, you know, a lot of people don't really care for photography or street photography, but like, oh, you know, I kind of like your entrepreneurship, marketing, branding advice. Or there's other people who are like, oh, you know, I just kind of like the things that you do with stoicism and philosophy and other sort of things. So essentially, the more you're able to let yourself think outside the box and allow yourself to innovate outside the box, then that's going to allow you to build a more diverse following, which I think perhaps could give you more long-term success, because you're not just going to be dependent on one type of genre or artwork in order for you to succeed. You're going to allow yourself to have lots of different followers from all around the globe, from all different genres of art and life in general. And so I think that, once again, don't trap yourself within a genre of photography. Don't trap yourself in a genre of anything. Allow yourself to be anything, anybody. Just be you. And when people when people ask you, what are you, what do you do for a living, just kind of troll them. Is, you know, make up different things like, oh, I'm a male stripper, or, you know, garbage man, or limo driver. It just might be a fun way to play around a little bit with others in reality. So don't trap yourself into a glass box, a glass prison, and let your own unique individuality shine. Peace out.